Good morning, students. This is the 26th lecture, and today we are going to start a new chapter that is on thermodynamic relationships. Okay, so in these thermodynamic relations, we will see how the eight thermodynamic properties are related to each other. If you remember in the very first class, when I introduced you to the thermodynamic properties, the eight thermodynamic properties, what are they? They are pressure, volume, temperature, internal energy, enthalpy, entropy, Gibbs function and Helmholtz function. P, V, T, U, H, S, G and F. Try to recall this. I also told you that when the values of all the properties at a particular instant for a system are fixed, then we say the system is existing in a definite thermodynamic state. Pressure is P1, volume is V1, temperature is T1, H1, G1, F1 and so on. When the values of one of these properties or at least one of these properties does change due to some external action, then we say the system is undergoing a change of state because its address now is disturbed. At least one of its the values of one of its properties or two of its properties are changing, or three of its properties are changing. So there exists a relationship between these eight properties, and these are all interrelated. Whether we every time know the relationship that exists between them or not, that is different, but there exists definite relationship between the properties. And in spite of not knowing the values of all properties, we have been able to represent them on PV plane or TS plane or pH plane and so on. Because if you remember, I also told you that in order to identify the location of a point or state, in order to identify the state of a system, out of the eight properties, the values of at least two must be known to us. And the study of thermodynamics is such an interesting one that if you know the values of two of its properties, then there are tools available, there are formulae available, there are correlations, there are property relations, there are charts from which you can find out the values of other six properties. So at best you need to know the values of at least two properties, so automatically the other values get fixed in a definite state. Just like, say you are staying in the hostel, say you are staying in the GT Birla Hall, right? And your room number is say XY, alright, or say B23, right? I don't know how the numbering of the hostel rooms are made, but say your address is B23 GT Birla Hall, NIT Rourkela. This is your address. Now if I write a letter to you, what should I write in the address? I'll write your name and write your room number B23 GT Birla Hall, NIT Rourkela. Once I write this, actually the address is not complete. On this planet, actually your address is not complete. It is not a complete address, because after Rourkela, then again I should write district Sundargarh, Orissa state, country India, continent Asia and so on, planet Earth. Then only it makes a complete address. But do we write that? When you send a letter to your friend, do you write the country name, if it is India, country name, continent, planet, etc.? No, because once I write GT Birla Hall, NIT Rourkela, automatically other things are getting fixed. Sundargarh district is fixed, the Odisha state is fixed, India is fixed, they are automatically fixed. So the minimum characteristics that are needed to track you or trace you or to locate you in this planet is your room number, your hall name and which institution the hall belongs to. So your room number B23, GT Birla Hall, NIT Rourkela. This much is the most essential. Once you know this much, the other things, the district, the state, the country, the continent, all other things are getting fixed automatically. Similarly, in thermodynamics, if you know at a particular state of a system, if you know the values of 2 of its properties out of 8, then you can locate the system and all other properties can also be determined. That's the beauty of the study of thermodynamics. And this chapter, thermodynamic relations, gives you an idea about how these properties are related to one another. Alright. So in this chapter, you have to understand and you have to watch the evolution of certain relationships or correlations or simply equations, and all equations are named. Okay, now named as energy equation or Maxwell equation or this equation, that equation. So you have to see how these equations are derived or how they are evolving. Okay, so you have to see that and how the properties are related to each other. So in this chapter we will be discussing derivation of Maxwell's equation, TDS equations, energy equations, right? Specific heat equations, and so on. These are the 4 essential equations that we will try to derive and understand. Now, as I told you in the beginning, or maybe in the last class, I was telling you that this chapter is a highly mathematical chapter. Okay, it is full of differentiation and partial differentiation, and you need to play with all the properties and you need to remember certain basic things. But I will advise you that you remember the basic things but don't mug up the derivations. Only remember from which point the derivations are going to start. Okay, then you can derive it there itself. In the examination also, don't try to memorize and reproduce, try to be able to derive it as fast as possible. Because if you try to memorize and reproduce, there is possibility of committing mistakes. I have seen it happens with students, so I'll advise you that instead of memorizing them and trying to reproduce in the examination, you must only remember how the derivations are carried out and what is the starting point. If you remember that, then you can derive any relationship and establish any equation, prove any equations. Okay, so let us start with 3 mathematical theorems. Alright, I'm not teaching you mathematics in this class, so I will not tell you the step by step evolution of the theorems. I will only tell what the theorems say, and based on those theorems, mathematical theorems, and 3 theorems we will be discussing, we will see how they are utilized in developing the thermodynamic relations which are of use to us. Okay, they are of use to us. How these mathematical theorems are evolving, that is at the point, at this point are not necessary. Alright, now thermodynamic relationship therefore is a relation among the thermodynamic properties. And what are the thermodynamic properties? Once again I am telling, they are pressure, volume, temperature, internal energy, enthalpy, entropy, Gibbs function, and Helmholtz function. You know what is pressure, volume, temperature? In this last discussion of last few classes, we got to know what is internal energy, entropy, and enthalpy. Okay. Now, what is this Gibbs function? Gibbs function, just remember, it is H minus Ts. H is enthalpy. Quantitatively, Gibbs function is H minus Ts, and F is U minus Ts. For the time being, you remember this much, because at this level, at your undergraduate level, for mechanical students, the significance of G and F is not very useful So we are not discussing much about G and F. Only remember that G quantitatively is H minus Ts and F is U minus Ts, and all these H, Ts, U, Ts are all properties. Alright. So this is Gibbs function, this is Helmholtz function. Then the mathematical theorems that I was telling are like this. The first one says that if x, y, z are three variables. You know, there are variables in mathematics, variables and constants. If x, y, z are three variables, and if dz is equal to m dx plus n dy, that means differential form of z can be expressed as m dx plus n dy, where m and n are functions of x and y. Okay, if that means if an equation is possessing this form, or an equation looks like this, resembles this, then if the equation looks like dz is equal to m dx plus n dy, then del m del y x is equal to del n del x y. If dz is equal to this, then remember del m del y x, del m del y x, and del n del x y. Okay, this is the first theorem. And what are these z, m, n? They are all functions of x and y. Okay, actually, in thermodynamics, what happens? Any function or any variable, how many properties are there? There are 8 properties. You name any property, say pressure. Pressure is a variable, and this pressure can always be expressed as a function of any 2 of the remaining variables or remaining properties. So P can be a function of V and T, P can be a function of H and S, P can be a function of T and H, and so on. Similarly, if M and N are functions of X and Y, and if Z can be written as dz is equal to m dx plus n dy, then del m del y x, del n del x y are equal. This is theorem 1. Okay. That means while doing a thermodynamic exercise, if you come across an equation involving thermodynamic properties which looks like this equation dz is equal to m dx plus n dy, then this is true. Okay. These 3 expressions you have to remember. So that is for 1. Then theorem number 2 says, if x, y, z are 3 variables, if x, y, z are 3 variables, because I am writing it from the domain of mathematics, I am telling x, y, z, but you can very well visualize x, y, z as pressure, volume, temperature, or volume, temperature, entropy, or entropy, enthalpy, and Gibbs function, any 3 properties. Okay, so they are all variables. So if x, y, z are 3 variables and are related by a function f this way, that x is equal to x fy, y is equal to y fz, like this. If they are expressed this way, if x, y, z are 3 variables and are related to each other by a function f, then del x del y f, del y del z f, and del z del s f is equal to 1. This is the second theorem statement. it says if x, y, z are three variables and they are related to each other by a function f, then partial differentiation of x and y at f, yz at f, zx at f is equal to 1. This is the second expression that you need to remember. All these expressions can be proved mathematically, and had it been a physical class, I would have derived it one by one, but I don't feel the necessity of doing this because these derivations are not helpful to you. You are only interested in the end result, and I am writing the end expressions. Number 3 says, if x, y, z are three variables, again x, y, z means here in mathematics x, y, z means visualize them as three properties in the list of thermodynamic properties. Okay, if x, y, z are three variables and any one of them is a function of the other two, like this, then del x del y when z is constant, del y del z when x is constant, and del z del x when y is constant is equal to -1. This is the third mathematical statement that you need to memorize. Okay, one is if dz is equal to mdx plus ny and dy, then del m del y x is equal to del n del x y. If x, y, z are three variables and related by a function f, then del x del y f, del y del z f, del z del x f is equal to -1. Then third one is if x, y, z are three variables and they are any one of these variables is a function of other two variables, then del x del y z, del y del z x and del z del x y is equal to -1. Based on or using these three theorems, we shall be developing equations that are helpful for finding out important relationship in thermodynamics. And you will see that during the discussion of this, the different parts of this chapter, we will come across and we will very clearly visualize certain concepts about which we already know, but we are not very clear. So now there will be a mathematical clarification of all those things, like Cp minus Cv is equal to R. We all know Cp minus Cv is equal to R, but what exactly is Cp, what exactly is Cv, and how that difference is coming to be equal to R and under what circumstances. So those things are to be mathematically proved in this chapter. So it is very interesting. Next, if you come to first law of thermodynamics, then what does it say for a closed system undergoing a process? First law of thermodynamics for a closed system undergoing a process. What does it say? It says dq is equal to dw plus du. Now in differential term, I can write TdS, because by now you know dq is equal to TdS. This is PdV plus du. Or I can write du is equal to TdS minus PdV. Can I write like this? And look at this. How many properties are there? U, T, S, P, V. Okay. So this is an expression comprising of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 properties. And does it not look like dz is equal to mdx plus ndy? Does it not look like that? dz is equal to mdx plus ndy. Then if it is looking like that, then what you can write? If dz is equal to mdx plus ndy, what you can write in that circumstances? You can also use that formula. I am talking of theorem 1 for use here. So you can write dt dv at s is equal to minus del p del s at b. Let us write it here. Del t del v s is equal to minus del p del s b. Okay, is it clear? Now we will go to the definition of enthalpy. Quantitative definition of enthalpy. Quantitative definition of enthalpy क्या है? H is equal to U plus PV. So if I write the differential form of dH, then this will be du plus PdV plus BdP. And what is this du plus PdV? What is this du plus PdV? Du plus PdV is already we saw in just here. Du plus PdV is your TDS. So dH is equal to TDS plus BdP. Now look at this expression. Again, does it not look like dz is equal to mdx plus ndy? It looks like that. So you can write a similar expression for this, which will be derived from this. Now लिखो del t by del p s is equal to del v by del s at p. Del v by del s at p. Let us write it here. Del t del p s is equal to, here there is no minus sign, del v del s p. Okay, so this equation we got from the first law, this equation we got from the definition of enthalpy. Similarly, two more similar expressions will be deriving. Two more similar expressions will be deriving. What are they? One of them is coming from Gibbs function, the other one will come from the Helmholtz function. Now Gibbs function, G is equal to H minus Ts. There when I wrote first, I wrote capital G is total Gibbs free energy. Now this is specific Gibbs free energy. I am writing all in the specific term. So this is capital G divided by M, capital H divided by M, capital S divided by M, specific. So dG will be how much? Will be dH minus TDS minus SDT. So in the previous equation we had DHH TDS plus BDP. इससे पहले जो किए थे एंथैल्पी. So dH minus TDS is how much? BDP. So it is dG is BDP minus SDT. So dG is VDP minus SDT. Again this is in the form of dJ is equal to mdx plus ndy. So we can write, from this we can write dV by dt at P is equal to, minus sign will be there, del S del P del S del P del S del P at constant T. Let us write it here. Del V del T P is equal to minus del S del P T. So as I told you, the third expression we got from the quantitative definition of Gibbs function or Gibbs free energy. The fourth one will come from the Helmholtz function. Now what is Helmholtz function? F. F is equal to U minus Ts. U minus Ts. So dF is equal to du minus TdS minus SdT. Go to the first equation where in the first law of thermodynamics we had TdS is equal to du plus PdV. So du minus TdS will be minus PdV. So it is minus PdV minus SdT. So dF is equal to minus PdV minus SdT, where this is the differential expression for Helmholtz function PdV SdT. Now this is also again in the form of dz is equal to mdx plus ndy. So we can again take out another relationship using that mathematical theorem. So I have del P del T V is equal to minus minus plus del S del V T. Write it here. Del P del T V is equal to del S del V T. Alright. So from the four expression we are able to derive four more expressions using the definition of enthalpy, definition of the statement of first law, definition of Gibbs function and Helmholtz function, and we got this set of differential equations. Okay, so this set of equations consisting of four equations are called Maxwell's equation. These are called Maxwell's equations. So Maxwell's equations are a set of equations comprising of the first, second, third, fourth equation. Okay, and these relationships are very important in deriving the other complicated relationship that we will now enter into. Clear? So remember, these are the Maxwell's equations, and if you are asked to derive Maxwell's equation, then you have to derive all the four equations. The first one will come from the first law of thermodynamics for a system undergoing a process. Second one will come from the definition of enthalpy. The third one will come from the definition of Gibbs function, and the last and the fourth one will come from the definition of Helmholtz function. And Gibbs function is h minus ts, whereas Helmholtz function is u minus ts. Now you need not remember these equations. It's better if you can remember, but if you remember, because they are partial differentiation terms, so you may make mistake here. So that is the whole problem. So always try to derive them, and if you have to write a long question or a series of questions from this chapter that will come in the examination, then first better you derive this Maxwell equation and keep it ready, because at any point of time the Maxwell's relationship or Maxwell's equation will be coming to your use in the derivation of other important relationship. Okay, so these are the Maxwell's relations. Now we'll see, we will derive another set of equations. Okay, and that set of equations is related to entropy. Now we'll start with this. Entropy is a function of, I told you entropy is one of the properties, and any one property out of the 8 properties can always be expressed as a function of any 2 of the remaining 7 properties. That means S can be a function of P and T, S can be a function of P and V, S can be a function of H and S, H and G, H can be a function of F and G. So anything is possible. S को छोड़ के बाकी जो 7 properties, out of that you pick up any 2, S can be a function of the 2 properties. I mean they are all related. They are all interrelated to one another. That is what I am trying to impress upon you. Okay, basically. Now let us take, remember where from I am starting this. I am starting the next derivation from entropy as a function of temperature and volume. And next I am going to do by writing entropy as a function of temperature and pressure. From this initial statement I will come up with a final statement. It has got some name. Then with the second statement S is a function of temperature and pressure, I will again come up with another mathematical statement or expression or correlation which will also be given another name. Okay, so always try to remember where from the derivation starts. So this derivation starts from this. Now ds therefore is, you know, partial differentiation. So del s del t v dt plus del s del v t dv. Okay, what you do, you multiply t everywhere. In all the terms, I multiply t. It makes no difference. In an equation, there are three terms, one on the left hand side and two on the right hand side, and I multiply t everywhere. So it doesn't affect the equality of the equation. Okay. Now, what is this? Look at this. Look at this term. T del s del t v. ये क्या है देखो. What is this? T ds. So it is like T ds by dt at constant v. What is this? This is amount of heat divided by the temperature. Okay. So what is amount of heat? dq is actually mass. If mass is 1, then specific heat and then temperature difference. So dq by dt is your specific heat only. And what kind of specific heat? This is at constant volume. So this term, if you look it very closely, is nothing but Cv. What is Cv? Cv is the specific heat at constant volume. Of course, in this whole equation, the mass is 1. I am taking for unit mass. That means I am writing every property notation in the specific term. And T I am always writing capital T because T divided by m doesn't give you small t. I mean the temperature doesn't become half just because the mass becomes half, but volume becomes. Okay, the enthalpy becomes, entropy becomes, internal energy becomes half if the mass is half, but not temperature or pressure. Okay. Now Cv dt plus ये क्या है देखो, T ds dv T dv. Find it out. Find this expression here. ds dv T. Yes, ds dv T. So what is this? ds dv T is equal to T dp dt v. In place of ds dv T, I can write this. Is just because we are taking a constant volume here, we took a constant volume here also. So this from the Maxwell equation, fourth Maxwell equation, ds dv T is replaced by dp dt v. So your TDS becomes equal to Cv dt plus T del P del T v dv. This is called first TDS equation. So we derived an expression for TDS from the relationship or statement that entropy is a function of temperature and volume, and it comes out to be TDS is equal to Cv dt plus T dp dt v dv. Okay, remember that first TDS equation, ये Cv रहेगा, यहाँ dv रहेगा, यहाँ v रहेगा. Okay, you remember this one. This is the first TDS equation. Just like they are first, second, third, fourth Maxwell's equation. So this is first TDS equation. I hope you are noting down, and if you are not noting down, you can watch it again and try to note down the steps I am doing one by one, and you must practice accordingly. But remember that the starting point is very important. Second TDS equation. First TDS equation हो गया. So TDS equation we are solving. After Maxwell equation, we are solving or we are deriving TDS equation. First TDS equation over. Second TDS equation start by assuming S as a function of T and P. Right? So ds will be equal to del S del T P dt plus del S del P T dP, right? Del S del T P dt, del S del P T. Now multiply T here same way, T here and T here. Multiply T everywhere. So you get TDS is equal to, just like there it was CV, here it will be CP, same expression. Only here this is the total amount of heat divided by temperature difference at constant pressure. That is nothing but your specific heat at constant pressure. So it is CP dt, and here you have to replace. So this term should be replaced. This term should be P. Okay. So ये देखो ds dp, ये this one, ds dp at T is equal to what? Minus dv dt P dp. Alright. So this you picked up from the third Maxwell's equation, and this makes your second TDS equation. This is your second TDS equation. Note these things step by step. If you are not able to note now, watch it for the second time and note it down. So today we derived Maxwell equations, which is a set of equations consisting of 4 correlations. Then we derived TDS equations, which is again a set of equations consisting of 2 correlations. The first TDS, second TDS. Similarly, you have a third TDS equation also. Okay, so that we will see in the next class. So this much for today. In the next class, we will move on to some other equations like specific heat equations. Okay. Thank you. This much for today.